Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the Excel file here on the paper tradings tab. What is paper trading? Paper trading is when you essentially invest on paper to practice trading. It's so you don't have to waste money trying to get better at trading. So here you can actually take a stock and practice and say, what if I had bought it when it opened today, and what if I had sold at this price? This would have been the price I would have sold at. How much would I have made? How much would I have lost? It's kind of a tool, and you could trade along with me when I show you in other videos. So the first thing you're going to do is go to paper trades, and then once this loads, you're going to see this, and you're going to go down to download Excel file. Go ahead and open it up. Once it does, you're going to enable the editing button right here. That way you can actually key into the cells. This looks intimidating, but it's really simple. You guys just need to worry about inputting into these three cells here, and then it's going to output everything over here and calculate it all. Okay, so the first thing is opening price. That's the price it opens at or you invested at. Then you have the number of shares purchased. That's going to be how many shares you want to buy or would have bought of that or wish you could buy. You can kind of play around with it and say, what if I had bought this many shares just for fun? And then you have closing price. That's the price you would have sold at, that it ended at. So even if you want to stay invested, how much would you have made through the day, through the hour, through the minute? You can play with it all. Price to purchase desired shares. That's going to be the cost of purchasing how many shares you want to buy. If you bought 100 shares, how much would it cost to buy 100, 1,000, 10,000, or whatever else there? Total return is going to be the return you get back. So here's your cost, and this is your total return. Now you have profit. Profit is your total return minus your price of your cost, basically. And then you have return on investment. So return on investment is what the percentage of your return is. The average yearly return in the stock market is about 10%. So if you keep that in mind for reference, I trade penny stocks and I flip them daily, and I get a better return sometimes. Sometimes I get a lesser return. It just depends on the day. But you guys can watch my other videos and kind of see how that works. Then down here, keep track of your paper trades. So if you actually want to practice for a while, I really recommend this. Go ahead and keep track. Name of the stock or the 3 or 4 letter abbreviation for it, the date, the opening price, the closing price that you sold at or would have sold, your profit, and your return on investment. Okay, so first, if the opening price, say, was 10 cents, here's an example. Okay, and if we purchased 100 shares of this, and then you can already see it start to calculate over here, but the closing price, let's say it goes up 10 cents. So it closed at 20 cents. Go ahead and hit enter. It'll key it all, or it'll calculate it all for you over here. So it would cost you $10 to buy 100 shares at 10 cents. Your total return, if it went up in the day or in the hour when you sold 10 cents, you would get $20 back. And how much was your profit? Your profit was 10, and you got a 100% return on investment. So let's key it in here. Example 1/6/2021. If I key right, okay, the opening price was 10 cents. The closing price 20. We sold at 20 and we made $10 profit. And our return on investment was 100%. Okay, so I actually have an example from the other day though. So let's look at this here. This one's from GHSI, or Guardian Health Sciences, and this was actually one that I invested in and made money off of. Okay, so let's look at this here. So we have the closing price was 55 cents. So we're just going to kind of keep it simple and 55, not 55 and a half essentially. Okay, we're going to say it rose 17 cents. This is when I sold. Okay, so that would make this the opening price. If it was minus 13 cents or 17 cents, it would be 38 cents. Okay, and I believe I had 2,000 shares of that. So for that stock, it cost me about $760 to purchase 2,000 shares of it. My total return was $1,100, and my profit was $340. Okay, and that makes my return on investment 44%. And again, the annual yearly return on investment in the stock market is about 10%. Now, had this come out to be in parentheses, so say in the day, this will ended up at the closing price of 0.33. See how it says now I'm down 100. I'm losing $100. Now, if I sell it, I've lost 100. If I keep it, I'm only down 100. It could always change. And we'll get into that in the further videos. But this is how you use the spreadsheet. It shouldn't be a scary thing. It looks intimidating at first, but once you start practicing, this is a really good tool to use so you don't get in the stock market and lose real money fast. You can kind of maybe give yourself, I want to be able to invest $100. You can kind of play around with it and see what you would have made in a week. I would really suggest that at first, and you can trade along with me in other videos.